I'm here with Golden from, lives around Lake Tanganyika in Northern Zambia, and works helping small communities of women to become, to build businesses and to be able to support themselves. It's a major help to a lot of different women and groups of women in Africa. And so I'm going to ask you, Donald, if you could just I'm sorry, Golden. I'm going to ask you, Golden, if you could just tell us about that. If you maybe you could start by telling us what made you decide that this was a good thing for you to do. What made you want to be involved with this?
Okay, so for me, self-help I do with women, and I decided to start working with women because I've seen how my mother struggled to raise us as a family from the little what she has. So I decided to see on how I can help the women so that they can raise their children from what they have, and also that they can believe in themselves in order for them to provide for their families.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, very good. And what would you say is one of the major needs that women in these communities have?
Okay, so the major needs for these women, because at the lake, most people they depend on the lake. So when there is fish, they buy and sell. Now, if there is no fish, then it's a struggle for them. So now, these people, they don't know that they can do also other things in order for them to survive. So we are teaching them on how they can survive without fish or with fish. So this is what we are doing with the vulnerable women in the village along the lake shore. And then the second thing, most women are married to, maybe 2 or 3 women are married to one man. So this also make them to struggle for them to live well with their family. You find that maybe the man is not able to provide for the whole wives. Maybe he can manage to provide for one wife, the rest they need to survive on their own. So we are trying to help them on how they can survive without these their men.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So what are some things that have, some changes you have seen? What are some things you've seen that have worked well for that?
Okay, I'll talk. There is a certain lady. She's a single mother with 3 children. So, and she is disabled, and she has no one to provide for herself. So when we heard that there is this woman, we went to her, and then we started encouraging her to join self-help. And then she said, I will not join, but I will try to form my own group so that I start with them. Then, at first, she said, how am I going to save because I don't have money? So we encouraged her, and then at the end of the day, she agreed. That's when she started one group, and she was a member of that group. Now, after serving in that group for 1 year, she had enough capital to start a micro business. So now, she named that group called the Trust, because in the community, people, they don't trust disabled women because they think they are beggars and maybe they will scam them. So she named this group Trust. So there were 15 women in this group. Now, upon the community, upon seeing that this group, they are doing well in their businesses, and also they are also helping their families to go to school, that's when the community started inviting Lydian to form groups. So she formed, she has now 14 groups, and these groups are doing well. She's the one who leading the DBS. She also the one teaching them on how they can survive on their own. So I've seen transformation through this self-help, and I also have seen transformation through this woman called, yeah.
So Golden, can you describe for me, how do these self-help groups work? What is it that they do?
Okay, so self-help, what we do, we meet every week. When we start the new group, we meet 2 days in a week. And then when we meet, we do DBS, Discovery Bible Study. Then we learn also, we teach also some business lessons for this community women. And we teach them through contextualizing the lessons. Then after teaching them, then we teach them also how to save. If they have $1, we tell them that if you have $1, you can save 50 cents. So that when you have maybe $5, you can able to have at least enough capital for you to start selling something at your yard.
So you teach people how to save.
Yeah.
But that's easy to understand. But there's some discipline in there that the women start to save?
Okay, when we started, we faced a lot of challenge because it is not in their culture to save. But we are not tired. We are encouraging them, them to do that. Now maybe you'll find that from 15 women, maybe 7 of them, they catch up the concept. Now there's the remaining 8, they will copy from these people who have been saving because they have seen the fruit of saving.
So you're basically teaching women to save.
Yes.
To save money so that they have enough.
For them to start doing something or selling something in their yard in order for them to survive.
What kinds of things do they sell?
So they sell avocado, which is fruits, groundnuts, and maize grain, and also fish. When the fishermen bring fish, then they will buy and then they will start selling them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there something that you wish other people knew about the women in your self-help groups?
What I can share is we have different women with different backgrounds and different situations. We have widows, we have disabled women, and we have even those who are HIV positive. Mm-hmm. So we have different kind of women in our groups. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, very good. Are there some things you'd love to see happen with these groups? What are your hopes for the future for these women?
So our hope, my hope for these women in the future, I want to see them living a testimony whereby they will start sending their children to the tertiary education, like what Lillian she's doing now, and also I want to say their community understand who little God is, and also I want to see these women start taking initiative, not just depending on the lake, because like what we have this year, we have a fish ban because the government decided to stop the fishermen to catch the fish for 3 months. Now, if they are not taking initiative, they will suffer. So we don't want to see that for the women along the lake shore. So we are trying to encourage them and to help them so that their future will be different from what they have passed through.
Very good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the people at Africa Imports who work about the money that's sent?
Yeah, I would like to first to thank the workers and also the customers who are working in Africa Import because as they are working, they should know that they are not just working or they are not just buying things, but they are buying and also helping someone in Africa, especially a vulnerable woman in the village along the lakeshore. So when they buy one thing, they are helping also one woman in the village along a lakeshore, or they are helping a vulnerable, a disabled, a widow in the village along the lakeshore. So they should see the work or the products that they are buying, that they are not just buying those products, but they are also supporting someone who is in need through that work, through that product.
Golden, thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank you so
talking
much
to
for
us.
having me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.